When South of Midnight was first shown off in an Xbox showcase, I was definitely pulled in by the stop action animation art style and the Deep South setting. These are things that you don't typically see in games these days, so let's dive into the review so you can determine if the game is worth your time and money. The story begins in Prospero, a fictional town in a county inspired by Louisiana. We play as Hazel, who is preparing with her mother to evacuate because of a massive storm. Hazel goes to check on a couple neighbors, but then watches in horror as her home with her mother still inside gets swept away by water. Thus begins the adventure of traveling across the landscape in search of her mother. Along the way, she discovers her calling as a weaver, which is a healer in service to lost souls. We're able to wield magical tools with supernatural abilities in our journey. The story is extremely rich in Southern folklore and culture, and to complete the 14 chapters of the game, you're looking at about 10 to 12 hours, so not a huge investment in time. You could probably knock this out in a few days if you wanted to. In terms of gameplay, the game definitely doesn't break the mold in any aspects. You have a very basic skill tree that doesn't meaningfully shake up combat and traversal methods that we haven't seen 100 times before in other RPGs. In that aspect, the game is just a super chilled game to play, honestly, like I said. I was playing this alongside the first Berserker Kazan, which has extremely demanding gameplay, so honestly, it was nice to take a break from that for a bit here and there and play this game. It's very easy not to get lost in the game, as pressing in R3 will guide your way to the main objective. However, by doing this, it's also very easy to determine side paths for items to upgrade your skills and lore, which are very fun to explore. There's also some very light puzzle aspects of the game, which were not difficult to figure out at all. Boss fights were very well done, and some were gimmicky, but not super challenging. My feeling is not every game needs to make you sweaty. Sound design is fantastic in the game, sound effects are great, the voice acting is phenomenal, and the music is something I would describe as musical theater. The different genres of music in the game are extremely versatile, hitting you with some gospel and blues, just to name a couple. As the songs play, it almost sounds like they're coming from the perspective of the character in that moment, and that's why I'm calling it musical theater. This was implemented exceptionally well and completely enhances the gameplay experience. The visuals in the game are stellar and extremely breathtaking. I was playing this on Xbox Game Pass, and therefore I did not have any performance issues whatsoever. Keeping this one short here, but with all this being said, I'm giving South of Midnight an 8.5 out of 10. The gameplay wouldn't be the main reason I would encourage you to play South of Midnight. It would be instead for the characters, the story, the art, and the music. These are definitely the things that will stand out to you and leave a lasting impression. If the gameplay was more engaging and had some fundamentally different ideas and mechanics, I could see it being a complete package. So in conclusion, and to answer the question at the beginning of the video, is the $40 price tag worth it for South of Midnight? Honestly, that's a question that you yourself has to weigh, but for me, I would either wait for a sale or play on Xbox Game Pass as I did. Game Pass has really been hitting it out of the park the last few years with the day one releases, and this one is no different. So that is really going to do it for this one for now. Let me know if you guys have played, what you feel about the game in the comments below. So hopefully you're all doing well. Stay tuned. More coming at you. Take care.